Live
and local
across the city
and South Cambridgeshire.
This is Ian Daborn.
Cambridge 105 Radio.
In the accounting profession, working with some of the absolute best-in-class biotech companies around Cambridge and the rest of the UK. Then took a detour to Cambridge Silicon Radio, which was an amazing experience in terms of learning about the semiconductor industry. And then more latterly at Horizon Discovery, where I was there with an amazing team of people on quite an incredible journey. And what's exciting about this new venture, BiologIC, is it brings together a lot of those learnings that I've gathered over a period of time with some like-minded people to really try and transform the future of biology.
How many of you are involved in the business at the moment?
Yeah, there are three of us as co-founders, and we're moving very quickly and starting to build a bigger team and more partnerships and really trying to accelerate the development of our product.
You've got a scientific background and you've worked in science, but you're the guy, I think, who's quite tuned into the commercial side of things. Would that be right to say?
It is, and I'm passionate about this because I think we are incredibly science-focused around Cambridge, and we do have some extraordinary technology and developments and intellectual property that comes not only from the university, but from the hospitals, from the pharmaceutical companies. We have some of the biggest technology companies in the world based here in Cambridge. And I think it's a really rare place where you can have the multidisciplinary approaches across all of physics, biology, software, semiconductor technology. You have machine learning, AI, genetics. It's a really vibrant ecosystem. And I think pulling together all of these different ideas can give you really interesting new concepts. But what I'm really passionate about is how you take those concepts and make the technology an enabler to really enhancing a customer's experience. The day-to-day life of a scientist at the lab bench. How are we transforming their lives? And I'd really love to see the Cambridge ecosystem be much more commercially focused and much more commercially successful, so we can bring that best-in-class science to a global audience and genuinely build the industries that we're capable of.
Why do you think it's not as commercially focused as it could be? Is that a Cambridge thing?
Well, it's a good question. I think there's a lot of ambition and, a very impressive group of leaders around Cambridge. But it's quite a complex process growing a business from an idea into, the first commercial sale of a product, and then beyond that, scaling it even further. And it really takes different types of people to go on that journey. And I think the ecosystem we've built around Cambridge is excellent at that technology transfer, the initial ideas, the development of the science. We have a vibrant venture capital community that will fund those ideas. But where we run out of firepower a little bit is how you translate those into huge commercial successes. And we have one or two great shining examples of where we have done that, but I think all too many examples of where we haven't. Some of that's a local phenomenon, some of it's a UK-wide phenomenon. And what I really would want to draw into Cambridge is more long-term industrial ambition to really go the distance to build something not only that's great science, but making a massive difference in the world. And I do think we have a lot to learn and a lot to improve in that part of the business journey.
Synthetic biology, what is that all about?
Synthetic biology is a really interesting and hot new area, which is really about how you create biology by design to solve some of the world's biggest challenges in the areas of food and fuel and medicine. And I guess you can think about it this way, ever since the Industrial Revolution, we've made really incredible progress, but it is taking quite a heavy toll in terms of some of the global issues that we have, climate change, environmental sustainability, and so on. And it's only providing very limited access to, some of the incredible new medicines and therapies that there are, such as new vaccines and what are called cell and gene therapies. And synthetic biology in the future is all about how you produce these foods and therapies and fuels much more efficiently and much more effectively using biology by design.
Is it something that is quite new, or is this an area of science that's actually been around for a long time?
It's been emerging over the last 5 years or so. I guess you can cast the clock back 20 years to when the Human Genome Project completed. And at that stage, we became really good at reading biology. So we were able to read the human genetic code for the first time. And we're now really good at that, to the point where, we've been able to read the code of this COVID-19 virus within a matter of days. And then biology moved from the reading phase to the writing phase. And we've become quite good at being able to code the biology ourselves. At my previous company, Horizon Discovery, for example, doing gene editing using CRISPR, which is something now that people are much more familiar with. And we've become really good now at reading and writing and applying that knowledge to design some incredible new therapies, such as vaccines and cell therapies, that really do promise not only treatments, but cures for certain disease, certain types of cancer. But I think where synthetic biology really comes in now is, how do you begin to scale that biology into a genuinely industrial size operation that adds huge benefits to society? And that's where a company like BiologIC would come in to try and really scale up that synthetic biology. Our goal at BiologIC is to not be a technology company per se, but really be obsessed with user experience and making our customers' lives substantially better.
Cambridge 105 Radio.